gonna do now is add this restrictor on the outlet. This is where the water comes out of the engine and into the radiator in a car. On the dyno, we normally run no thermostat at all, but we're gonna drop that in there to mimic a thermostat because that is gonna create more of a restriction in the water flow, and if the pump is working against a head pressure, theoretically, it's gonna eat more power than it does without a thermostat. So essentially, this test is gonna tell you if you lose horsepower just by adding the restriction of a thermostat in your intake manifold.
I think that's a one-man job, Freiberger. Okay, I think that's good. I think we'll lose a little more power.
It's a good thing we're averaging 4 because that was down everywhere.
So our new peaks on an average of 4 runs, 467.4 horsepower, 465.2 pound-feet of torque. I mean,
That's a little bit of difference.
it's a little bit of difference. It's minus half a horsepower, and oddly enough, it's minus 1.9 pound-feet. I would have thought that the data point at the higher RPM, which would be horsepower, would make a bigger deal, but I mean, we're dealing with
even averaging all
specs.
these, because we knew going in that we needed to average 3 or 4 tests because we were talking onesies and twosies.
So far from the electric water pump to now, we're talking less than 5 horsepower. So I think we need to go throw on the overdrive pulleys. Right now we're underdriving the water pump. We need to overdrive it and see if that makes a difference.
Steve did such a good job changing the thermostat, I think he should change the pulleys.
I'll change the pulleys if you drain the block. How about that?
Why would you drain the block to change pulleys?
Oh, we're not taking the water pump off, are we?
No. So we'll watch
Okay,
from here.
Steve,
Go ahead.
I can do that.
You've got a deal.
Oh, man, you got me again. Okay, you can see this is a much larger pulley on the crankshaft. We're gonna have a corresponding smaller pulley on the water pump. Now what this is gonna do is speed up the water pump drive, and we're gonna be running this at about 28% overdrive. So at 6,000 RPM crank speed, we're gonna be seeing about 7,700 RPM at the water pump. Now that's a lot closer to an OEM ratio, and it's gonna help engine cooling. So in the real world, this is probably what I'd go with.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is gonna kill more power.
I think you're right.
Am I clairvoyant?
No.
No?
Okay, here we go.
Okay, one more pull with this combo.